We are recording.
Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the first episode of the pilot podcast of Purple Shade. Well, the Purple Shade podcast, as we just named it. PSP for short. Sony don't even do it. You don't even make them anymore. All right. I'm one of your hosts. As you can see, Mikey Nunchuck, that's me. That's the handle I go by. You can also call me Tim. That's me. Along with me, I got my brother. I'll let him do his introduction. Brother, tell the people about yourself.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Tori's son. I normally stream games all over Twitch. Today, we're gonna be doing a podcast with my brother Mikey Numchuck, as he just introduced himself. We are here. We're gonna go over stats, game scores, the good, the bad, the ugly. Some things you want to hear about, some things you don't want to talk about. But we have to talk about some things. We have to. I've got a lot to talk about.
Yes. We'll mostly be covering the Baltimore Ravens, okay, which both of us were born on the East Coast. I live in the upper Midwest, so we'll also cover the Minnesota Vikings. I've been a fan for them for a very long time. We'll mainly cover most of those teams, but we'll talk about some NFL in general. We will be talking about the NFL in general in this initial podcast after that game on Thursday, but I digress. We will get there. All right?
Yeah, we're going to tiptoe our way through this thing.
Tiptoe is a beautiful way to say it. We're going to tiptoe because look, we don't want to get fined.
I don't want to get fined, you know what I mean, for an over-exaggerated celebration when there's nothing to celebrate.
No.
We're just here to do a job. A little bit?
After these games, I don't know. But look, talking about games, right now we're recording this in the afternoon slot of Week 1 Sunday. So let's go. You know what? Let's go over some scores. So right now we're in the afternoon slot of scores. Right now, the Broncos are leading the Seahawks 13-9, start of the third quarter. The Chargers are leading the Raiders 9-7 at the start of the third quarter. Cowboys are up on the Browns 20-3. Thank you, Cowboys. I don't like you, but thank you for beating the Browns. The Commanders are down 7-16 to the Buccaneers. Okay. Earlier today, the Bills beat the Cardinals 34-28. The Saints pummeled the Panthers 47-10, my brother. 47-10. That's a college score.
As you guys can see that, I have that right here. ESPN, it's up there. 47-10. And that's a good way you put that. College numbers.
That's a college score. You know, in a closer one, the Texans beat the Colts 29-27. The Dolphins beat the Jaguars 20-17. And of course, the Minnesota Vikings 28-6 over the New York Football Giants. The Patriots beat the Bungles. Yes, you are still the Bungles. 16-10. The Steelers beat the Falcons 18-10. Kirk Cousins sucks. I'm just going to say it.
The Steelers won. No way.
They did. I know.
Look, no shade to the Steelers. I am a Ravens fan, as you can see. I wear it proudly. It's a feud that's been going on for years. Y'all in our division. Congrats on the win. But I'm Ravens fan all day. I mean, numbers don't lie. Good job.
Just the Falcons. It's just the Falcons.
A win is a win, bro. We started the season with a loss here. The Steelers are winning. I mean, the Bongos did lose. The Bongos.
They did. I know it does suck at the end of today, at the end of Week 1, the Steelers could be in first already. But
exactly.
It's Week 1. We got a lot of football to talk about, people. We do. Let me see some other scores. The Bears beat the Titans 24-17. I don't even think the Bears scored a touchdown. That was
Wait. 24-17, all field goals?
Yeah, I don't think they scored a touchdown. I think it was all field goals. If I'm not mistaken. Let me check to make sure, but I heard they were all field goals.
Let me see. Let me click on this game. I can pull it up right here.
While you pull it up, let me finish the scores. So on Friday night, the first Friday game, I think in NFL modern game history, the Eagles beat the Packers 34-29. Jordan Love got hurt in that game. Sorry, Packers fans. And on Thursday night, the opener, the Ravens lost to the Chiefs 20-27. And I think that's a good place to start. Opening night. What you find?
So I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
So I see Tyreek Stevens, 43-yard interception run. Caleb Williams pass to DeAndre Swift for a 2-point conversion complete. So that was a TD, but it was a defensive touchdown.
No offensive touchdowns.
And they did get one offensive touchdown with a blocked kick recovery by Jonathan Owens.
That's a special teams touchdown.
Oh,
that's not even an offensive touchdown.
Then they didn't. The two touchdowns were special teams and defense. Wow. So that's correct. No offensive touchdown.
No offensive touchdowns. Okay. So my sources were correct. I was right.
That is correct.
Rough start for Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick. But hey, look, first game, week 1, it happens. But yeah, like I said, brother, let's dive into the opener, Thursday night in Kansas City. Our beloved Ravens fell 20-27 by a toe.
By a toe. That is there is no exaggeration, people. If you did not see it, it is all over YouTube. Literally by a toe.
All right. That man's foot is a half size too big. But
and there was a meme circling the internet. Jerry Rice literally saying Lamar Jackson put that ball in a good enough spot and for likely to be, he was a great stand-in last year for Mark Andrews. For the time he played, all the knowledge that he gained from being on the field with Lamar Jackson, catching the ball, sideline catches, I'm talking everything. You gotta know where you are when you get your hands on that ball. Second thing you gotta think, where are my feet? And what Jerry Rice was saying, you take that right leg and you push it back. If you have to fall on your face, you get those 2 feet in bounds, you get up, then you celebrate.
A toe, man. But overall, what did you think? What did you think about the game overall?
Overall about the game, I feel like the Ravens are a decent contender this year. I really do. They stood up against the new dynasty that everybody's talking about, saying, oh, Mahomes is the next Brady. He could possibly be better than Brady. They're already calling him the best quarterback to play now that is still playing. It is Mahomes. They stood up and they came out pretty strong. They had a touchdown on their opening drive. They struggled. They tiptoed, but they got it. They got it done. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well,
that's your struggle. Okay, lightly. That was like 4 penalties on that first drive.
The new illegal formation, or the new formation, they have to line up.
You know what? You know what? Save that, because we're going to talk about officiating a little bit. So just save that for when we get into the officiating, right? Go ahead and give us your summary of the game, and then we'll go into certain players. Go ahead.
Okay. So
give mine what you're doing.
So like I was saying, the Ravens seem to be a great contender this year. They do. They came out, they stood against Kansas City, and the game came down to a controversial call about a toe. Literally seconds, I think 4 seconds left on that clock. It came down to a toe, and they were going to go for 2. They wanted to win that badly. Not to mention, 2 times John Harbaugh said, oh, we're going for it on fourth down. We're going for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been a Ravens fan for a long time. I have not really seen that from John Harbaugh. That was it made me a little excited, saying, okay, these guys are showing their teeth. They want to continue these drives. They want to get the points. They want to win. Even Lamar Jackson, when the offensive line crumbled multiple times, they did. Johnson. I can't think of his. I can't think of his name.
Who's that? Which position?
Linebacker, I believe.
For us?
Kansas City.
Johnson. What's his
number? Harrison?
What's his number?
Crap, I gotta find that too.
No.
Let me find that.
Just don't worry about it. Keep going. Go ahead.
Anyway, it was one guy that we couldn't stop on the line. The offensive line crumbled multiple times, and Lamar Jackson goes to the sideline and he is yelling at his offensive line.
Yeah, if you're talking about somebody on the D line, then that's Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, okay.
Yeah, that was Chris Jones.
Right, Chris Jones.
It was a nightmare all freaking night. Like, go ahead, I'll let you finish. And then I'll give you mine.
We couldn't stop him. He went to the sideline and yelled at his offensive line like, "You guys want to win? Do you want to do this?" I've never seen that from Lamar Jackson, ever. Even with Flacco, it seems like the quarterbacks were always contained, not showing their emotions or anything, going by the plays. No hot routes or anything like that. Never changing the play. Just say, "Hey, we're doing this," and they go do it. So that right there, that made me a little excited. You know what I mean? For the season, yes, we lost. But it looks like Lamar Jackson's trying to be a leader. And that right there is huge for this club.
I agree.
Huge. Now,
I agree.
Going into halftime, we were down. I don't know exactly what they talked about in the locker room, but they came out the second half, looked a little bit better. Now, going to some stats about Lamar Jackson. He had a 64.5 QB rating, which is not bad. 26 completions for over 41 attempts. Not terrible. 273 passing yards.
Before we get into let me give my summary of the game that I felt, and then we'll jump right into Lamar.
Do you think? All right.
Man, I came into this game with little optimism, because I felt like no matter what the Ravens did, it was going to be minimized, right? If they won, it would be like, okay, it's regular season. You still lost the AFC Championship game. It doesn't matter, right? The Chiefs lost last year. They lost week 1 last year. They would have minimized a Baltimore win. So I didn't come into this with a lot of optimism. But what I saw throughout the whole game was that a lot of what stopped us from winning that AFC Championship game was still there. Derrick Henry got 5 carries in that first drive, right? First off, the first drive sucked because of the referees. We'll get into that. But he had 5 carries in the first drive, right? After that, only 6 more. Why did you get Derrick Henry? You watch that game and you're like, they were undisciplined. They were getting penalties that they shouldn't have been getting, blown coverages. Marlowe, I don't think it was his fault. He thought he had help over the top. Blown coverages, man. I mean, miscommunication. It looked like what we've seen so many years with Harbaugh and this team. Undisciplined, penalties when you really can't have it, and breakdowns that can break your back. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But because Lamar, and I'll segue right into that. I'll put it on the tee for you. You can knock it out of the park. Because of Lamar, we were in that game. That is the only reason why we came literally a toe away from tying or taking a lead and winning that game. He is the only nobody else on that field was the reason why we came that close. Okay? Lamar is really that good. He tried to do everything he could. Man, he was taking hits that he shouldn't have, but But go ahead, go into his stats. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and run off his stats. Go ahead.
Real quick, one thing before we go into those stats, I will put a spotlight on Isaiah Likely for that amazing effort.
Oh, he balled out.
He broke a tackle, dodged 2 to go for that touchdown. I will give credit to Isaiah Likely for that one. As
You see that
for
block on that linebacker where he literally shoved that dude to the ground? He had that boy mama crying.
no, he did. Yes, he did. To talk about shoving real quick, we'll get into Lamar Jackson. On a particular run at the end sideline, he throws the shoulder at a defensive a cornerback, sends him flying. And Lamar.
Yeah, I know you saw that. Yeah, he wanted that game bad.
So
he wanted that game bad.
And what they were saying about him, a lot of things he was doing in that game Thursday night, if he had done that, showed that same kind of just demeanor, attitude, they probably could have won that AFC championship.
Could have.
Anyway, okay.
I heard he wasn't fully healthy though.
This is now that is true. Also, they say that about Mahomes.
Yeah, but he didn't set the world on fire in that game.
He did not.
And we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you my opinion. I'm gonna tell you why. This dude don't set the world on fire. He don't. He's the poster boy right now, but he don't set the world on fire. He really does not. He doesn't. But go ahead. Let's go into Lamar.
Okay.
You want to run the stats, or you want me to run the stats, and then you can go ahead and give your opinion.
You can run the stats. I got them. I got them right here. Just
okay.
Piggyback off that.
Oh, you sure? No, okay. I mean, because you were starting to run the stats. No, I was wondering if you. No, go ahead. Run the stats for me.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so Lamar Jackson had a 64.5 QB rating in that game. Not bad. Not really not bad, actually. 26 completions for 41 attempts. 273 passing yards from a running quarterback.
Yeah, Mr. Running Back.
Yeah, Mr.
Not bad for a running back.
Not bad for a running back. Only one touchdown. But still, only one touchdown. But
you said that with such feeling. Only one touchdown.
Because when you think about it, at least when you think about it, 273 yards passing, that's a lot. That's almost the length of three football fields. You would think it's like one, maybe two, maybe, a couple touchdowns in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is the Chiefs. We cannot take that away from them. It is the Chiefs. And they came out, they showed out. Okay.
Defending champs, man.
Yeah,
You got to play defending champs on the road.
No, exactly right. They were away. That's right. They were away. And he still had a decent performance and potentially could have taken that game from this dynasty that everybody is there's so many memes floating around out there. Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs can't be beaten.
Not when the refs make calls like that. No, they can't.
I saw at least one or two times where Zay Flowers should have got a pass interference. Didn't see it. His arm was going across Zay Flowers' chest. That's contact past 15 yards.
Yeah, they're not going to call that.
It should have been there, but I get it. It's a away game. We're not going to get it. Cool. That's all right. Okay, now, generally, there's not a lot of stats since the season just started.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything you would like to add on that?
I mean, again, man, I think Lamar balled out the best that he could. The man had almost 300 yards passing, and he had 122 yards rushing. I don't like that because getting Derrick Henry was supposed to alleviate that. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to get Derrick Henry to take some of the load off Lamar. And that's why I say a lot of the reason why we didn't win the championship, the Super Bowl last year, it's still rearing its ugly head, man. It's like we're still asking Lamar to do everything and just win us the game. And okay, I'll just go into it. You look at the Chiefs and you look at Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. Not saying the guy's a good quarterback, right? There's no doubt in that. But the thing about the Chiefs is Andy Reid is a mastermind at scheming plays, right? And scheming guys open. So with Mahomes, it's like, bro, make this throw. He's going to be open, right? So that's really all he has to do. He makes plays. Yes, he does. He has great players. Yes, he does. He also has a great coach who puts him in the best position. He doesn't make it harder for him to just say, hey, please go out there and win me the game. But that's what the Ravens do. That's what Harbaugh does. I'm going to make a bonehead call. I'm going to call 2 timeouts in the third quarter. And I'm literally going to, it would have been nice to have a few more timeouts on that last drive, right?
Exactly.
It would have been nice.
Yes.
Right? You handcuff your MVP Hall of Fame. Look, Lamar's going to the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. He's a bona fide Hall of Famer right now, 2-time MVP. But you're handcuffing him with your boneheaded, just continuing to make bad calls. And I also think he's handcuffing the coordinator, man. I do. I think John Harbaugh goes in and says, hey, man, I'm from the old school. We play tough. We want to kick your ass. It's not the NFL today, man. It's not what it is. Stop handcuffing your team. He's handcuffing his team. You're not working to scheme guys open. This ain't 1959 football, bro. Scheme these guys open. I'm tired of watching teams with, I watch the Vikings. Look, Justin Jefferson is great, but damn, they scheme him open, and he's open. You know what I mean? He don't do it on his own. It's the scheme. They don't make it easy for Lamar. They just say, hey, Lamar, can you put your cape on today? We're going to need you.
Oh, this is true.
Man. They're wasting this talent. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Lamar balled out, man. You can't ask him to do any more. He had 1 turnover. It sucks. But that the line just broke down. To your point, Tori, the line broke down. Chris Jones came in and just grabbed them. Okay? It was like he opened the door on the fence and he just walked right in. That line's got to get fixed. It's got to get fixed. But yeah, I mean, Lamar balled out. Did he miss throws? Yeah. Everybody, man, I saw so many QBs. I saw Josh Allen miss a lot of throws today. I saw Joe Burrow miss a lot of throws today. I saw Patrick Mahomes miss a few throws. Imagine that.
Oh, not to mention
that though.
Not to mention, Lamar has a turnover that's a fumble. Pat Mahomes had an interception.
Almost two. He was lucky to get that ball back.
Oh yeah, when they batted it up and he miraculously catches it.
Yeah, well, it came right to him. It was easy. It came right to him.
This is true, yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, okay, he had a turnover. That's not good. You got to hold on 2 hands on the ball. I get it, but other than that, man, he didn't put the ball in harm's way in any other way. He was decisive. When he decided to run, he ran. Right? Screw it, I'm running. You know what I mean? But can't do that. You can't expect to do that every game. Guys got to get open. You got to scheme these guys open, man. It's too vanilla. Like Justice Hill had 1 carry, I think, but he was on like 30 or 40 something snaps. And as a defense, Tori, what you look? Oh, Derrick Henry's not in the game? Oh, they're not running the ball. Come on, man.
Justice Hill did have a lot of completions with Lamar Jackson.
He did.
He definitely did, which don't get me wrong, Justice Hill did. He did good too. I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead, Justice Hill, you're doing your thing. Running didn't look good. Derrick Henry did not impress me. All through the night, King Henry. Like, where is he? Where is King Henry? I don't see him. He's diving down the middle. We're talking 3-4 yards. This dude is like 250 pounds of a running back. Big boy. Like Brandon Jacobs. Oh my goodness. And he's just trying to run through the middle. It's like, it's not working. And yes, they did try screen passes. And I mean, I got to give a little discredit to Lamar Jackson. They were messy. They were all over the place. Missed completion to Zay Flowers on a screen pass. Missed completion to Derrick Henry on a screen pass. Possibly even Justice Hill on a screen pass. If you're going to run the screen pass, at least get it to the receiver and then see what they can do. Or if you're thrown late where the coverage is already blown, nobody's blocking. And what do you get? A yard, maybe a loss of 2. It's not good football.
At least they were trying screens, though. I will say that.
This is true. I will give you that 100%. They are not a team that they do not normally do those screen passes. To see that, I was excited. I'm like, okay, wow. So where'd they get this from? Who book did they take that out of? Didn't look like they took it out of Andy Reid's book, because Andy Reid would do it, and worthy? I don't need to.
Well, if they took it out of Andy Reid's book, they must have took the ones that didn't work, because they didn't work.
No, they didn't work. They did not work. Oh man, it was a lot of breakdowns on the offense, the line, and just to piggyback on Lamar Jackson's turnover. If that offensive line was a thing, that turnover probably wouldn't have never happened, because he would have people blocking.
Yeah.
He was pressed the whole night.
He was. And I think, to your point, a lot of people talk about Lamar and his mechanics. I think he's in year 6, man. Even in year 6, I think there's still mechanically, he's not a drop back passer. So you can't expect his mechanics to be like a Manning or Brady. I mean, in a sense, neither's a lot of these guys. Neither's Mahomes. Mahomes to me isn't a pure pocket. He runs around too much. A lot of his stuff is off script. But a lot of what Lamar does is because his line is just, he made a few throws where it was just like, it was perfect. He stepped into it. His base was good. He looked great, but that was when the line held up. Line doesn't hold up. Look at the last 2 plays, right? Hill's blocking Chris Jones. How does that? Okay, it happened one play, right? Justice Hill's blocking Chris Jones, right? With 10 seconds left. Okay. Mind you, this is the game. Okay. This is the game. How do you get your running back to block their best defender? Twice, right? Both times you saw that one play where Lamar threw it, and I could see exactly what he was talking about. As soon as I didn't see, he said he wanted to throw it to Bateman, and I can understand why he said that. The way Bateman ran his route, he ran across, and he was expecting him to kind of come back and settle. But he had to make a quick decision. Chris Jones was coming. He didn't have long, right? So he was already being flushed out. So he threw it, and as soon as he threw it, then he saw Zay flash. And he said, shit, I had him. But Zay should have stayed. When he broke free, find the zone and sit, man. Don't keep running. You would have ran yourself into coverage. Don't do that. Sit. But he was under pressure on both plays. Okay? He even said, like, look, I saw that. I saw he was blocking him, and I knew I didn't have a lot of time, but I had to help him out. Man, you got to make that, it's like, it's hard. It's hard, man. You got that much time to make that throw.
Oh, that's it. And to piggyback on that, why wasn't Henry out there blocking?
Thank you.
I mean, Justice Hill, I mean, I would say he's a tough guy, definitely. Henry, your 250-pound back.
Yeah.
Why is he not blocking the threat?
Thank you. Yeah.
Because it was like you said, last 3 plays. The teardrop that should have hit likely.
Yeah. He should have put more on that.
A little bit.
Throw, that was a bad throw. He should have drove that ball. If he would have stepped into it and drove that ball, I'm not saying he'd have came up with it. Who knows what happens, but he would have had a better shot.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't a touch throw to the back of the end zone.
Right.
No way.
But see, that's another thing. I'm looking at Lamar's completions over the years, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not glamorous, it's not hideous, but I mean, it's a solid like 60, 65 over the course of the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for those type of passes, I mean, in my opinion, I would think you would want to work on that so you can get those teardrops. Pat Mahomes, he can teardrop like all day. I mean, he's got the coverage is fine. He's got the line, cool, but he can teardrop. There's a lot of those passes that Lamar put up, teardrops that just wasn't there. Even especially the long ball. It was Zay Flowers broke free. Likely, it was one play he threw to Likely a double coverage. I did not agree with it whatsoever because he doesn't have that accuracy of that teardrop to get it in there in the numbers. Doesn't have it. So, like when Zay Flowers goes across the middle, when Bateman goes across the middle, it's like you got to be ready. Just know that your quarterback he's a good quarterback. But when it comes to you running your route where the defenders are, he's looking for you to be wide open so that with that 65% completions that he has, there's a high chance that 65 will definitely show through and you will come up with that football.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could be schemed wide open like a lot of other teams do.
That's a thing, right? It seems like with the Ravens, a lot of their plays just has a lot of defenders around them. I don't know why.
There's always a lot of defenders around every time, right? It's
everywhere.
I see Lamar running around all the time, and I'm thinking somebody's got to be open, bro. Like, come on,
exactly.
Nobody's open. What are you doing? Do they not practice the scramble drill?
They did on that one play with Likely because he scrambled for a while.
That one he did. And again, he was running for his life. He had to step up, get out of there. They were coming down. They were bearing down on him, and he made a hell of a play.
Say that again. He was
a hell of a play.
Running for his life.
Yeah, he was running for his life.
All game.
Yeah.
All game.
The line is definitely an issue, and it's a new line. And think about it. 3 of the guys on that line are young, either rookies or in their second, maybe third year, right? Because Voorhees hasn't played football in 2 years. He got hurt, right? So he's basically still a rookie. He redshirted his first year, right? Stanley's been there. He's supposed to be our anchor. He looks better than he has in years past, right? Lindenbaum is just, he's one of the best centers in the league, bro. He's rock solid, right? That was a BS holding call.
Oh,
there was just so many BS calls the whole night, right? But the other 2 guys are young. Falele, he whiffs too much, right? And then you have Makari, and they were. This wasn't the game to be shifting in Rosengarten and Makari. This wasn't it. Not this game. Do that crap next week. No shit, you can't even do it next week. The Raiders, because you got Max Crosby, and you're not doing that with him either, right? It doesn't get easier for that line, and it won't. But you're gonna have to pick a line and stick with it, because if you don't, they're never gonna gel, right?
Right.
You got to give them time. You have to give that line time, man. If you don't, they're never gonna get better.
No, this is true. And piggybacking off of what you said about that penalty call on the center was nowhere near the play. Lamar was gone. He was somewhere downfield.
He had the guy. And when the guy reached and turned, he let him go.
But they called it. And
how was that holding?
I'm trying to figure out what is the significance of it when the play is 20 yards away. What is the significance of that? What is that doing for this play? I guess. Exactly. I didn't see a reason for them to call that. That's more like say guys get into a scuffle for a block afterwards. It's like, okay, they scuffle, whatever, and then they get up and do the next play. Why throw a flag on it when the play's already matured? It's already gone. Yeah. What's the point?
I don't. Yeah, a lot of those flags I didn't get. It was a lot of home cooking.
I like that home cooking.
Yeah, man. Not to be the conspiracy theorist, but man, it reminds me so much of the New England days and Brady. I was just like, God, man, it's like, I understand that calls are made, but why are you guys always on the right end of these calls, right? In these games, they keep, especially in close, and it's always in a close game. A lot of those calls were like, Are you serious? Really? You're going to call that right? It seemed like every time the Ravens got a big play, it's a flag.
Oh yeah, not to mention the hands to Mahomes' helmet. He didn't swat. It was
didn't.
graze his helmet.
He didn't.
Oh, blow to the head.
He didn't. And he was flopping all damn night. Even the one on the sideline, like
oh man,
Rowe didn't push him. Rowe, look, if anything, he was kind of trying to, he didn't want to hit him, so he came and he kind of just put his hands on him, like, okay, look, I don't look. He almost was using them to slow himself down, coming to the sidelines, and he just flopped. It's like, bro, come on. And that's why the ref and Rowe's white. That's why the refs didn't call it. They saw him flop. That's why they didn't call it. But even on the sideline, he's tiptoeing. Marcus Williams comes and takes his legs. He's still got a foot on. He's still got a foot in bounds.
That's right.
What do you expect him to do? He's already going to his side. I mean, look, you just have to know. But part of me, again, when I talked about in the beginning, the undisciplined penalties when you don't need them, I understand. You have to know who you're playing. If Mahomes was always going out of bounds, people wouldn't go after him. But dude, you're trying to tiptoe the sidelines. I'm going to light you up. Unfortunately, though, the NFL doesn't allow you to do that. They're going to call it every damn time because of who it is. And you can't tell me that you don't play favorites to certain guys because you're lying. He makes you money.
That's right.
Just, but they don't try to hide it. They do it in plain sight. But it's like, we're so numb to it at this point. It's like, well, we know what you're doing, but whatever. We're still watching, right?
Yeah. I'll still watch. I mean, I don't like it, but I still watch. No. I'm pretty sure. I'm convinced there's a Mahomes rule now.
Of course there is.
It has to be.
Of course there is. I mean, but overall, to kind of push this forward, overall as a team, I don't think it was a horrible game. The calls didn't help. Some of the coaching decisions didn't help because taking 2 timeouts on okay, let's talk about the defense for a little bit. We've talked about the offense, right? We talked about Lamar. The receivers, okay, let's do this. Let's kind of run through real quick. Let's just run through what we think. We talked about Lamar. What do you think about running? Let's take a couple minutes, right? Running backs. What do you think about running backs? How did the running backs do?
If we're going to talk about Derrick Henry, he did not impress me at all. I agree. I feel like he's more so there for show, just to wear the jersey, and it seems like the Ravens pick up these players that used to be, stars, just has-beens. Has-beens, exactly.
Yeah, I tell everybody, the Ravens shop for offense at the Goodwill.
Ooh,
right?
Yeah,
they shop for offense at the Goodwill, but on defense, right? They on Saks Fifth Avenue, baby. You know what I'm saying? They shop in Beverly Hills for their defense.
That is right. But
wow, Goodwill. Ooh, somebody didn't want this. I'll take it.
Exactly. Let's
take it.
Let's see what we can do with this.
13 carries, 46 yards. For a guy that you went out and got, who was supposed to take some pressure off Lamar, right? Lamar had 16 carries for 122 yards. Justice Hill had 1 carry. 1. Zay Flowers had more carries than Justice Hill. I mean, come on, bro.
No, that's right. Man. Averaged 3.5 yards a carry in that game. And to the token, the commentator said that since Lamar Jackson has been the quarterback, the running backs have seen 4.5, 4.6 yards per carry. And that's not even there.
And those are like Gus Edwards numbers. You know what I mean? And he's gone.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed by Derrick Henry. Justice Hill, Um, he did have a lot of completions. I'll give that to him. So as a running back, going out on the slant and the flats, it was a few wow factors for me with Justice Hill. I was like, okay, Justice Hill.
I think he had a good game. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Justice had a good game. Especially in pass protection. I think he did a lot better from when he did a lot better from when we last saw him in the AFC Championship game. He was a lot better in pass protection. He did make some plays in the passing game.
Oh yeah, 52 yards.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that, and I think this is another problem. I think it puts your offense in a bind when you bring in Justice Hill. The defense knows they're throwing the ball.
Yeah,
that's a problem. Because if I can see it sitting on my couch, those guys on the other sideline that get paid, they can definitely see it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Definitely.
Justice Hill had one running attempt. One.
What do you think about wide receivers?
Wide receivers, Zay Flowers did well. I'm going to say Zay Flowers did great. He was open a lot. Lamar didn't hit him. He did not hit him. I feel like Zay Flowers might be. It seems almost these guys don't practice together enough, because as fast as Zay Flowers is, I would expect Lamar to be able to adjust to where he's going to be in his route to be able to hit him. Like Zay Flowers goes on a fly, overthrown, underthrown. You know what I mean? Like, do they practice the bombs? I don't know. I would say Zay Flowers still had a great game, with the close catches that he got. He had a couple good screen passes. All right. Isaiah Likely, I know it's not a wide receiver, tight end.
He balled out, though.
He did.
Balled out.
Bateman was... Did you see Bateman?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in the second half. I mean, the first half, I don't even think, and I think with Lamar, I don't know if it's a trust factor or what, right? But a lot of times I see Bateman getting open, but I don't know if he's the first read. Now, it could be two things. It could be either one, Lamar doesn't trust him, which I don't see why not. He can play. Or two, the offense is set up where Zay is going to be the first read. And if Zay's your first read with this offensive line, you may not get to your second or your third read.
But the thing is, Zay is that fast. Zay has speed. It's all about hitting him in the stride when he's open. And that's what I was saying about, do these guys practice together enough to be able to execute that? They should. As fast as he is, Lamar can do it. I know he can. It's just, it doesn't happen. The execution isn't there.
What was his line? Zay had 10 targets, 6 receptions, 37 yards. So a lot of his receptions were very short. There was a lot of short receptions. His longest reception was 19, right? Which means every other reception literally totaled 18 yards. So 5 receptions for 18 yards. Like you said, it was a lot of dump offs, a couple screens. It wasn't a lot, but those 4 misses, I don't know if they were just bad misses. I don't know who did they charge the attempt to on the last, the second to last play? Did they charge that? Was that to Bateman or was it to Zay? I don't know.
The camera was on Zay. That's all I can say. At the end of that play, it seemed like it was a pass to Zay Flowers, but Zay was already, Lamar threw it where Zay was.
Side, right? Zay was coming from the other side. Bateman was the guy who flashed across, because when Lamar dropped back and saw Chris Jones and stepped up and then stepped out the pocket, he saw Bateman flash and thought he was going to sit and then threw it. He didn't see Zay till the last second, right? So I don't know. I don't know who they charged it to, but Zay had a lot of short passes and things like that, right?
Yes.
But Bateman, the 2 catches that Bateman had, he had that one catch where great route. I saw him go out. He ran a slant, stop, boom, hit me. Great play, right? He found the hole in the zone and he sat down. He should have did that in the end zone to be a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And on the scramble play, hell of a catch. That was a hell of a play. Lamar rolled out under pressure, rolled out to the right, slung it. Bateman he snatched it out the air. You know what I mean?
Like
Nelson Aguilar missed a block. He missed that block.
Oh no, he did. No, he did. He did.
Fourth down. He missed the block. If you'd have blocked that dude, we would have got a first down.
Would have got the first down.
He goes past him, and the guy's like, "What are y'all doing?" Okay, forget it. I'll just make the tackle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, bro, what are you doing?
I mean, talking about Rashad Bateman, if you look at the numbers, 53 yards for 2 receptions. This man caught the ball twice the whole game. 53 yards.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me for averaging each play, 26.5 yards a play is what he got. Mm-hmm. Now, Zay Flowers, love Zay Flowers. He had 6 receptions for 37. If the numbers don't lie, if Bateman is getting you 26.5, yards a play, I feel like he should be utilized a little bit more. Zay is good. Don't get me wrong. Zay is he's a target out there. But Bateman is not utilized enough, in my opinion, because I'll flash it again.
He's not.
2 receptions, 53 yards.
And I think he's better than that.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
I think he's better than that, right?
Definitely. But
a lot of people knock on Rashad, but I think he's better than that.
Well, I will say
sometimes he can get a little. I can't knock him for that either, man, because that's how receivers are. If you're not involved in the game, you just start to lose it. Okay, I'm just out here right now. It's the nature of playing wide receiver.
No, that's true. That is true, because Zay Flowers was targeted 10 times. He made 6 of his 10 catches.
Right.
As for Rashad Bateman, I mean, he was targeted 5, made 2.
Half the targets of Zay, right?
Right, but Zay made more than half of his attempts. Right. More than half of the attempts, right. Now, Bateman, on the other hand, targeted 5 times, 2 completions. Now, that's also what you're saying about the trust factor. I mean, if you target this guy 5 times and 2 out of 5 times he's catching the ball, I mean, the trust factor is definitely not there. But at the same time, looking at the numbers, 26.5 yards each play, I mean, might want to give the guy a second chance.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One of those throws Lamar made to him, it almost looked like Bateman gave up. And I think that's part of it. I think he gives up on too many balls that you say, man, why'd you give up on that ball? You know what I mean? Like, he's really weird. He's really weird in that sense. He'll make a big catch at the end of the game like that. But if that was in the second quarter, he could have gave up on that ball. I don't understand this kid sometimes. I think he has talent. I think he's very talented. I just think sometimes I think he picks a bad time to kind of check out on a play, but I don't know. I think he can be better. I mean, all in all, I think the receivers did okay. But I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they can get better. Right? But let's talk about this defense, because we haven't even talked about the defense.
Oh, the defense. Oh. Ooh, let's talk about the defense.
Miscommunication.
I want to. Can I?
Miscommunication. Go for it.
Let's do it. There's my boy Marlon Humphreys.
Oh,
we're gonna talk about Marlon Humphreys. He had 2 tackles all game. All game. Marlon Humphreys, 2 tackles. Not to mention that blown coverage that led to Kansas City getting that touchdown.
I don't know what that call was. The way he turned around,
what they said was he thought he had safety coverage.
He thought he had safety help.
Yeah.
You can see he released him.
Yeah, he did. He let him go.
He released him. He came off the line. He okay, go. I got somebody behind me. There was nobody behind you.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Marlon Humphreys has had quite a lot of blown coverages and controversial plays when it comes to if he's actually, checking his receivers. because he didn't. There was. I'm sorry. There was nothing there. Like you said, let him go.
Let him go.
And we're watching, just on the couch watching, and we're like, "Where's your help? What's going on here?" Teardrop.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Right. The commentators made it was the greatest throw ever, and I'm like, bro, I could have made that throw.
Oh man, they like hotcakes. They were selling it so hard. It's like it's a blown coverage, man. What do you expect?
He's wide open. And
if Mahomes doesn't hit it,
he had to stop for the ball. So it's not like he threw him in stride. He literally ran down. He's wide open. He had to literally come, stop for the ball, and then run. It's not like he hit him in stride, right in the bread basket on his way. No, he just put it out there so he wouldn't F up the throw. But it's smart because you don't have to do nothing spectacular there. There's no defender you have to get the ball over. Just put the ball out there and let the receiver catch it.
No, that's right.
It wasn't the greatest throw in the history of the NFL like they were making it out to be. But, man, you in a game like this, okay, it's week 1, right? So I don't want to overblow week 1. It is only week 1. The problem is, and I saw people even on Twitter, right, talking about, well, I remember Mike McDonald when they first started, they had so many blown coverages. That don't make it better. That don't make it better.
No,
what it does is it points out that the same stuff has been happening with a different defensive coordinator. Who does that fall on?
That's a good question.
Nobody ever, we'll get to him towards the end, but nobody ever brings that guy's name up.
That's a very good question, actually.
Nobody brings that guy's name up, man. But so many miscommunications on the defensive side, right? That was the worst. Blown coverage, that was the worst. They did hold him to some field goals, though, right? Like, that game could have gotten out of hand, and they did hold them to field goals. So I don't think they played horrible. It was Zach Orr's first. The man's 32 years old. It was his first game as a defensive coordinator, but you got to clean up those mistakes. You can't have that happening in that game. Not against that team. Somebody else? Sure. Anybody else? I mean, anybody else but the Chiefs? Sure. But the Chiefs, no, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that. Not against them. You can't. They will burn you. Right? They're too good. Andy is too good. They will burn you.
That's one thing I don't think they took seriously. That, yes, Andy Reid is definitely, like you said, he's a mastermind at what he does.
He is, man. He's fucking good. He is.
Like, I know Philly's missing him right now. Oh, I know. I can feel it.
Right?
I can feel it.
Man, we let him grow, didn't we?
Oh, man.
Yeah, we should have held on just a couple more years.
No, that's right. Yeah. But okay. Marlon Humphreys, I mean, looking at his numbers, like solo tackles in the 2023, 26 solo tackles. I mean, I'm sorry. Total tackles 26, solo was 22, 4 assisted tackles. I mean, no sacks or anything, 1 interception last year. I mean, if I'm looking at these numbers, it seems like Marlon Humphreys at the time of his career right now could definitely use some help. So, I mean, safety help or anything, because what was seen last night was like, I mean, he played okay. I'm going to say he played okay. He blew the coverage, thought he had help. I mean, there's a whole lot of miscommunications that go on the defense, the offense in every game. But I mean, he is not by any means a shutdown corner. Definitely not. He needs help, and I mean, I don't know if the Ravens don't want to give him any help or if he's telling them not to because he feels he can do better. Just what I'm saying is it's not really. Like maybe in a 2020 season where he had 70 solo tackles. 70.
He's not that guy anymore.
Not anymore. Like next year, 2021, we're talking 44. Year after that, 22, 53. 2023, 22.
He was hurt too.
Granted, he did only play 10 games.
Yeah, he was hurt last year, the year before that.
But still, the 2020 season, 70 solo tackles, 12 assisted tackles. That sounds like he was everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere.
A few years ago, Marlon Humphrey was probably, maybe 3 or so years ago, Marlon Humphrey was probably looked at as one of the best, like, one-on-one corners in the league, right? He's not that guy anymore. He's had injuries. Yeah. I mean, he's not. He's just not that guy anymore. You can't put him on an island, right? And it's hard. You got to be special, right? You got to be like Patrick Surtain. He's a special corner, Jalen Ramsey. He's not that. He's not one of these guys. Juice. Not Juice. Sauce Gardner. He's not one of those guys.
No.
But granted, those guys are younger than him.
That's true. Yeah, that's surtain because
is probably maybe a little bit younger, but still. He's not that guy. Injuries have caught up with him, and just it happens, right? It's the NFL, and you can't be leaving him on an island. I think they'll clean it up, though. I think they'll clean it up. I think they'll get better, but I don't know. It's week 1, man. I don't want to overreact. It's week 1, but I really wanted this one.
Yes.
But I wasn't too optimistic about it. I saw people picking the Ravens, and I'm like, I don't know. If I had to put money on it, I wouldn't have picked the Ravens.
I wanted to put money on that.
I would have told you don't do it.
I didn't do it.
I would have told you don't do it.
Oh, man.
I would have told you don't do it. No, not this week. Don't do it.
I really thought about it because, like I said, they came out. First drive, scored a touchdown.
What was the line on that game?
The line.
Did it say the line on that game?
Yeah.
Oh, KC -3. You'd have lost. Which, if you think about it, though, with that line, what they've always said, though, the age-old saying is, the home team gets 3 points just because you're a home team. So if they were -3, it was essentially a draw. If they play this game in a neutral site, it's a draw.
I mean, by a toe, it was almost a draw.
I mean, yeah. But look, you saw John. You saw John.
Oh no, he wanted it. He wanted it, and
he wanted it.
That right there, yet again.
And look. Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you about that, right? Okay. So we talked about the defense, right? What do you feel? Do you think the defense is going to get better? What do you think? Yes or no?
I mean, they got rid of so many guys. Clowney's gone. Bowser's not there anymore.
Well, he didn't play. He hasn't played for like 2 years anyway.
So. Oh well. Patrick Queen. He's was Steeler now?
Yeah, he's
Steeler now. So, I mean, we got rid of a lot of some great defensive players. You know what I mean? And the fact that Marlon Humphrey's 8 years. This is his 8th season. I don't know if he can. I don't think he can get better. You know what I mean? And are they gonna shift, give him help,
they drafted a kid, Nate Wiggins, and I hardly saw him on the field.
That's true too. Now Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton's a monster.
Hamilton. I mean, Kyle Hamilton.
He's their best defensive player, hands down.
He can't be everywhere though, and that's the problem.
He can't. Yeah, he can't. You're right. He can't. I mean, I think Hamilton played a pretty okay game. He was pretty quiet though. I didn't hear his name a lot. Roquan played a pretty good game. He had that one interception.
Roquan Smith. Yep.
I think Simpson had a good game, and he's Queen's replacement. I think he's better than Queen in space, man. I think he's better especially in pass protection. He broke up the one pass that they tried when they kept running that one slant to Rashid Rice on the linebackers. He was the only one who broke up the pass. The kid's athletic. I think he's going to be a good one. But yeah, he just needs reps, man. He needs reps. A lot of these guys do. Let the kid Nate Wiggins play. Don't draft him in the first round and then don't let him play. But that's John. That's we're about to talk. We're about to talk.
We'll talk about that. I mean, talking about Kyle Hamilton, he did have 3 tackles in that game, which I mean just makes me think Andy Reid knows, you know what I mean, what this kid can do. So he definitely stayed away from it.
We're gonna stay away from it.
Definitely stayed away from it. But that's just one of the things that Andy Reid can do. You know what I mean? It seems now, I don't think John Harbaugh understands, you know, hey, stay away from the dangerous guys. You know, just stay away, and maybe you might have a better game like Andy Reid did for us. He went after Humphreys all game.
Yeah, because he knows. He knows who to go after because he's a good coach. He knows how to scheme his team to put them in the best position. You know what I mean? I mean, it's okay. The transition into the coaching, man, I think the coaching was poor. I think it was poor coaching. You didn't utilize Henry the way you should. You still made the same dumb mistakes. Your team is still undisciplined. You're making bonehead timeouts when you needed them you clearly saw you needed them at the end of the game. And that was part of the defense, Tor. You burned 2 timeouts at the start of the third quarter. You just came out of halftime. How can you not have your stuff together? You just came out of halftime.
That's true.
But man, this happens all the time. And the worst part is that it always happens to a John Harbaugh-led team at the worst times. It happens at the worst times. It's like he throws up on himself and he doesn't know, you know, and people say, oh yeah, they didn't panic. Yeah, they did. Oh, they panicked. Why did Derrick Henry only have 6 carries after the first drive? Because they panicked. Same thing happened. It's like, oh yeah, we got to start throwing the ball. Lamar should not be throwing the ball 41 times.
Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 200.
They had 100 more yards than them total, man.
No, they did. I mean, still, I was surprised at the 273 yards that Lamar Jackson had. I was surprised. I'm like, okay.
I was too. I didn't know he almost 3 for 3 Hondo.
Right. This is Lamar Jackson. He's a hybrid is what I'd call him. You know, he can run. And Pat Mahomes, he's not that guy.
He's not.
No. Lamar Jackson he could shake you, he could juke you.
He's a fucking great quarterback. He is.
Because he's got a great fucking coach.
Right, because he's got a great fucking coach who puts him in the best positions. And I'm not trying to knock him. I'm not hating on him because that's what you want. Anybody who's watching this, you're a KC fan. I'm not knocking Patrick Mahomes. He's he's a multi-Super Bowl champion. Okay? He's a multi-MVP winner. He's a great fucking quarterback. But he has one of the best coaches in the history of football.
Back-to-back championships.
We don't. We have a bumbling buffoon most of the time. He can get you there. Look, Monday through Saturday, he can give you a great speech. He can manage a team. When it comes to Sunday, he's Coach Klein. Straight out the water boy. John Harbaugh is Coach Klein, straight out of the water boy. That's what you get. He'll give you coach speak. He'll give you a great speech. But X's and O's, nah. He might as well be playing tic-tac-toe, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
For real. He might as well be playing tic-tac-toe. I'm telling you. Because he just don't have it. He doesn't.
I mean, look at Brady and Belichick.
You see something as the head coach? You see something going wrong as the head coach? If they're not running the ball enough, say something. Say something. You're the head coach. Don't give me this, well, I'll leave it to my coordinators. No, you leave it to them so when they screw up, you can just say, well, I left it to my coordinator. That's why he's been there so long. He'll throw somebody under the bus quick. But he's a great coach. Yeah, he's Great guy. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, burn your timeouts, and then you get to the end of the game, and you don't have any when you need them.
And then leave it to your all-star quarterback to manage the clock for you.
Again, thank you. And ask Lamar once again, to put on his cape to save your ass.
And he tried.
To save him.
He tried.
He did.
Hands down.
Andy Reid don't need nobody to save him. Andy Reid went to 4 NFC Championship games in a Super Bowl. He doesn't need anybody to save him. That guy's a good goddamn coach.
Oh, that's right. That's one thing I could say about Kansas City with Andy Reid, man. When they show up to these championship games, they prepared and they conquer.
Yeah.
They win, like I said, back-to-back championships, going for the third.
And it looks like it, man. Look. It looks like it could happen.
You know? Well, I'm just going to put this out there. There was a warning issued today from the Ravens letting Kansas City know, hey, we're on your heels. We've got your number. Because, I mean, 20-27, the same deficit for that AFC Championship game last year. I mean, the Ravens came out, iffy, yes. They put up points. And the way the game climaxed right at the end, they had a chance to win it. They had a chance. Now, I've seen Kansas City destroy other teams. I don't think Baltimore got destroyed last Thursday night. Did they shoot themselves in the foot? Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Which
self-inflicted wounds, man.
A lot. They do. They do that a lot.
Penalties, bonehead plays, stupid play calling. I saw all of it. But you know what's the problem is, man, I'm tired of seeing it.
It's hardball. It has to be hardball. It's not changing. Nothing's changing. Like, they've been through offensive coordinators. They've been through defensive coordinators. It's the head coach. It's the head coach. Now,
but nobody says it though.
Oh no, nobody don't.
Nobody talks about the guy who can't beat his old boss, right?
You know, that was news to me Thursday night. I'm just saying, when I heard that, I'm like, no way. No way.
Mm-hmm. He's only beaten him once. And he
and
barely beat him then. It took the running back, I forgot his name, Edwards-Helaire. You know, he got stripped when Odafe Owe stripped him and he fumbled. If he didn't strip him, they were going to lose that game too. It came down to a fumble. That's the only reason why. That was the only reason why they beat them that game at home.
Now,
man,
we're going to push forward just a little bit. So I would like to talk about November 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens play the Chargers. Now, I understand. Yeah, we understand what happened when these two coaches met. Ravens, 49ers, a Super Bowl we won, awesome. But I don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Jim's got a new team. Do you think? Do you think that John can beat Jim?
Maybe. Where they playing
at? At San Diego, at LA, at LA.
Ooh. They got to go out west.
Yeah.
They usually play good out west, though. I think they can. They play good in that stadium. They always beat the crap out of the Rams.
No, this is true.
When they play out west, right?
They do do well.
And what week is this? This is in November. What's that?
November 25th.
11, 12, something like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12. Week 12.
Okay, week 12.
And it's a night game.
Oh, prime time?
Prime time, 8:15 p.m. I don't know.
Sunday night. Monday night football?
I'm on the fence. I'm going to say that because
why? Why are you on the fence?
I'm on the fence because I think Jim is tired of losing to the team he used to quarterback for. That's why. That's why I think Jim might be championship with Michigan. Championship with Michigan, and they bring him back to the NFL. I think he's got something to prove, man. I mean, nothing wrong with a little, sibling rivalry. I think he's got something to prove. I think they're gonna show out just for that, just for Jim. And if John is still doing the same things that he's doing now, they can get better. They can get worse.
If this stuff is still happening, look, the only way I say this, I'll say this. John has the X factor, right? And this is why I call him he's a bumbling buffoon, bro. It's like, you give Lamar a coach who has half a brain, who understands, like, I'm going to put you in the best situation for you to win. Lamar would have 2 or 3 Super Bowls already.
Agreed.
He walks into the game with the ultimate. We've never seen anything like Lamar in the NFL. Not Vic, not Cam, not Randall Cunningham, nobody. No, and they've said it themselves. Lamar's better than Vic said it out of his mouth. Like, bro, Lamar's hands and foot better than I was. Trust me.
He's broken a lot of records.
You walk into the stadium, bro, with the ultimate X factor every game, and you still don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. He can do it all, and you just don't know how to put him on the right path or set him up for success. Right. You know what I mean? Stop shopping at the thrift store.
Right.
For your offense.
See, that's the front office too, though. But see, that's part of the front office too, right? That's DeCosta. That's Ozzie. Stop. Like, get this guy some legit weapons, right? And get him a legit coach who can scheme up some plays to get his guys open. I mean, come on, man. It's not that hard. I always hear people say, oh, you let go John Harbaugh, who are you going to get? Anybody. Besides this dude ain't getting you nowhere. Why do y'all love this guy so much? Because he won the Super Bowl 11 years ago? Do they even remember that? Can they even remember who was on that team? Do they remember that team was basically in a mutiny during the season? Nobody wanted to even listen to this clown? You guys got a short memory. You don't remember that? You remember when Ed Reed was like, bro, nobody listening to you. No. They fired the OC that year? Come on, man. Please.
Yeah, man.
The man's won 3 playoff games since 2012. Let that sink in.
Wow.
And one of them was last year. 3 playoff games with a 2-time. You've won 3 playoff games with a 2-time MVP the last 5 years.
No, yeah, exactly. And you know why? Because like we were talking about, the has-beens, they come to Baltimore to retire.
Basically. I don't know any of these guys they brought in that go, well, besides Odell. I mean, and even Odell, man. Even Odell way past his prime.
Exactly. Like, every catch, he had some decent catches last year, but majority of those catches he went up for, he always tried to draw the flag. And I'm like, you gonna play or you gonna flop?
Odell was more, he played a bigger role as like a mentor for a lot of these young receivers,
he did.
which is nice. Is nice. But that didn't win you no games, man.
Just like RG3.
Yeah. I mean, he was a backup, which was good, though.
He was a mentor for Lamar.
He was. But he was a good mentor for Lamar because he could let them know, like, hey, bro, you hurt. Don't let them put you out there.
That's right.
Don't let them put you out. Don't let them kill you. But Lamar's such a baller, though, bro. He's a competitor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he was out there taking hits.
You could see how bad he wanted that game, right? He don't like these motherfuckers.
He was yelling.
Like him just as much as we don't like him.
He was yelling at the offensive line. What are you doing? Yeah. Like, come on.
Come on, y'all. Let's go.
Like, you going to lose to these bums? which I mean, that's controversial. I mean, not that I don't like Kansas City. It's just
I don't care. I don't like them. I despise them. They're stopping my team from winning championships, so I despise them.
Agreed.
But that's self-inflicted, man. That's why I don't know. I'm with you. I just again. So back to, and we'll talk about this because we're gonna do this every week. So we're gonna talk about that game when it comes up, right? We'll preview the game. We'll talk about it. The Horror Bowl version 2.
Oh yeah,
right.
New team.
Well, I guess version 3 because remember they played on Thanksgiving that one year.
Oh yeah, this is true. Yep.
So Horror Bowl round 3. I don't know. I'm on the fence with you because I just don't know. Because I don't know what this team's going to look like. If this line doesn't get better, they might lose.
Okay. Well, talking about that, let's talk about the matchups, man. So next week, Vegas Raiders. Week after, Cowboys. Bills the following. And then we get to our first division game, which is the Bengals, which, I mean, if they don't improve and they don't get better, I mean, the Bengals got beat. But
they did. But I think, a couple of their receivers were out. I think wasn't Chase out today?
I didn't see it play.
If I'm not mistaken. I don't think, I know T. Higgins was out today. T. Higgins was out. And then I don't know if Chase played today. He may not have. I gotta look. I gotta look at the game. But yeah, I mean, to your point, if they don't get better, they're gonna get beat. Well, Chase did play. Okay, so Chase played. He didn't have T. Higgins, but he had Jamar Chase, right? So he didn't have his Joe Burrow didn't have his full complement of receivers, and you see what happens. They lose to the Patriots, right?
Right.
They won 4 games last year. So all you Bengals, and I know some of you will probably watch this, right? If you see it, all you Bengal fans out there who laughed at us for losing on Thursday, joke's on you.
Right back at them.
Joke's on you.
Right back at you. Look, no shade, but y'all are not division. So, right. I mean, there's only so much love I can have for you.
I mean,
it's only so much because, I mean,
y'all lost to the Patriots. Ugh.
Yikes.
Right?
Yikes. Cheeks. Okay.
Yeah, right. But yeah, you're right. So looking at these matchups coming up, and again, we'll go into more depth, but just to preview them, right? It's beginning of the season. If they don't get better, especially on the O line, it's going to be a struggle.
Oh, most definitely.
It's going to be a struggle. It is.
Like if they don't,
the defense will get better faster.
Okay.
Than the offense will. Because they have more pieces that have been there, like that have played there. You know what I mean? Whereas the offense, that line is such an integral part of how they're going to play, especially if they want to establish the run with Henry and give Lamar time to make these throws. You know what I mean? And that's what I go back to. Make the game easier for Lamar. Stop running these routes that take so long and scheme some guys open early to back the defense off. I mean, damn, you guys get paid to do that. And I have to tell you that sitting in my basement.
No, that's right. Yeah. Like I feel like watching these games and seeing what's going on and then seeing what they do about it. It kind of feels like for me, like, hey, I mean, seems like what I'm saying from my couch, might be a little bit better than what they're telling them on the field. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess I can, go head coach. You know what I mean? Like I can shoot my shot. Might be able to happen.
Go for it.
It seems like
you never know.
It does seem like it. Because I mean, half the time, like, why would you do that? Like you didn't see what just happened to play before, but you're gonna go right back to.
Yeah, let's run 2 screens back to back with Zay Flowers. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, see what happened. Like you messed up on the first one, you're gonna try it again.
Yeah, let's try it again.
Line up the same way too. I'm gonna try it again. Just see what happens. Yeah, just do it. Not going
The
to work.
definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
I mean, it was a different result. They caught the ball, didn't go anywhere. The first one was an incomplete pass, but it was still negative to both of those plays.
Yeah, that's for you, John. Well, no, really, that's for you, Steve Bisciotti. You keep doing the same thing over and over, and you're expecting something different.
That's right.
I
Anyway,
don't think the Bengals are going to win you a Super Bowl.
Anyway, so okay, like we said, the Raiders, Cowboys, and the Bills. Then the Bengals. So
that's a tough stretch. That's a tough stretch to start the season.
Oh no, it is. And the thing is, if they can't come out and win the next one of the, I'm gonna say a couple. Let's just say two. I don't expect them to be perfect. If they can't come out and win like at least two of those next three games, Raiders, Cowboys, or Bills, the easy games like the Bengals, the Commanders,
that's probably not. That's not going to be an easy game.
The Bengals.
That Bengals game is not going to be an easy game.
I feel like if they come in with some wins, it might be able to change slightly.
Yeah, you're right. I think if they come in with some momentum,
that's it.
I mean, but historically,
it's always been a tough matchup.
It's always been a tough matchup, man. Those are tough games. Same thing with man. Every freaking game in this division is tough, man.
No, that's true. Yep.
Even the Squealers, man. Like, damn, we lost again. You know, you get tired of losing to the Squealers, man.
It definitely. No, definitely. And to be honest, just to piggyback on that, whenever we do play the Squealers, it's never we just go into it like, oh, we're going to beat them. Never. Historically, it has never been that way. And now it's starting to look that way with the Browns. It's always been tough with the Bengals. So it's like every division game we have, it's like no matter what our record shows, no matter how good we're playing, it's always a coin flip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And absolutely. I mean, especially if we don't go into these division games with some wins, it's going
to be an uphill battle, man. It really is. If they can't get it, if they don't right the ship, it's going to be an uphill battle, right? I have, because they have Lamar, they always got a shot, and that's where you start. Lamar gives you a shot to win every single game. So that's where my confidence lies. I don't have confidence in anybody else except Lamar. But if Lamar don't go, this team don't go.
No, that's right.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Stop relying on Lamar to do everything, and you might have a chance to win something.
Speaking of that, Thursday night, the run game was not working at all.
No. Well, Lamar was the run game, as usual.
But that's it. Right. Lamar was the run game. Yeah. Where was Henry? Justice Hill had just one run. One.
Yeah.
Like you said, stop putting everything on Lamar.
Yeah.
You got Derrick Henry, King Henry, who I'm going to be honest, I had so high hopes for it. Don't get me wrong, it's week 1. Man, I wanted to see this guy come out and just assert himself like, yo, I am with Baltimore now, and that's it. And this is what we're going to do. And every single play I saw was like, what are you doing? Why are you running it up the middle? I get it. You're a big guy. You know, you got downhill speed. What they said was he never hit second gear.
He couldn't get past the linebackers to hit second gear.
And then they dead the run game and just say, hey, Lamar, if you can run it, run it.
Yeah, go save us. Put your cape on, please. We need you tonight.
Because on top of that 64.5% completion, QB rating that Lamar had, his run game, where else are you going to see it? Where else are you going to get it?
Nowhere.
On top of 273 passing yards. That's not counting his rushing yards.
Lamar got to college and was like, Okay, I'm just going to take over everything. Running, throwing. He was the team. He gets to the NFL, same thing.
Right.
He's still playing college ball.
Exactly.
He is. He's still playing college ball.
You don't see that in the NFL, right? You don't, except for Lamar Jackson. You never saw that. Every single quarterback who came from college doing the run game and the pass game, except for, let's say, Michael Vick. You know what I mean? Panthers.
Cam.
Yeah, Cam Newton. They were mediocre with it. I would say definitely Michael Vick was better than Cam Newton.
Oh, Cam was nice, though.
Oh, no, he was. He was nice. But Lamar Jackson came in, took what he knew, and implemented that into the NFL better than any of them did. The passing game is I would say, is decent to the utmost for a running quarterback.
Bro, they've all said it. Cam, Vic, all of them have said it. They've said he's the best dual threat they've ever seen, including themselves. Okay, look at Cam's podcast. Cam, if you watch this, bro, look, no knock to you, bro. You were a fucking beast. But Cam's even said it. He's the Lamar. It's Lamar. Lamar's a unicorn, bro. He's one of one. That's why it's killing me.
We should be the dynasty.
We should be a dynasty.
We should be a dynasty. Yes. If you have that, Lamar Jackson.
That's why people hate on him so much, because he's that good. I don't care who you are. There's even, listen to me. There's even some Kansas City fans that are like, yeah, you know what? If we had Lamar, yeah, we would be unstoppable. Damn right you would.
You know what? I never even thought about that. If we had Pat Mahomes with John Harbaugh,
oh, he wouldn't survive over here.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he would be.
None of them would
anything.
None of them. Burrow, Allen, man, they wouldn't last 2 seasons in Baltimore with what Lamar got to work with.
And look
at him now. Thing. Look, Burrow was down one of his receivers today. They scored 10 points. Come on, bro. Josh Allen, he struggled today too. He struggled today. Missing throws. I mean, like, you know, but how long we been at this, bro? How long we been going? I know we've been going at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, just about.
Okay.
About hour 27 minutes.
Okay. Well, let's do an hour 30.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up. It's first, you know, it's our first.
Oh, it's the pilot. Yeah, man. Look, we're going to clean this up. I'm going to get the timer implemented, and we're going to stick to it, because it was definitely overtime. So much overtime today. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Overtime today, and that's fine, but it's the pilot.
Yeah.
We having fun. And that's what this podcast is going to be. We're going to have some fun. You know, we're going to throw some shade, because that's what we are. Purple Shade Podcast. PSP for short. Sony, don't at me. It ain't even like that.
No, it's not. Right? That's right. Prince, I love you. RP.
You know. But yeah, man, you know, look, we'll do this again. Let's, you know, we'll have a reaction, you know, once the game's over. Against the Raiders. We'll talk about that. If we want, you know, we can do a preview of the Raiders game maybe sometime before Sunday. Talk about it. Just to, you know, a little half hour if we want. We're going to set a schedule. For everybody who's watching, we will set a schedule. We'll post it out. It'll definitely be, I'm sure, you know, like Tori's son has told you, he has a gaming podcast. I mean, he has a gaming stream. He'll probably plug it a few times there. Once we get everything set up, we'll get a logo, we'll get our times, and we'll stick to that. We'll put something out at least once a week, of course, because the NFL's once a week. We'll talk some other sports. We'll mainly be NFL, but we'll talk some other sports. And, you know, we're already talking about maybe doing a gaming. We may do a gaming podcast too. We'll see how this goes. And we just out here having fun, y'all. We appreciate everybody who, you know, who's going to check this video out. And, yeah, let's do this.
No, yeah, man. We're definitely going to. We could definitely do that. Like, I got it set up. It works. Do gaming, sports, whatever. It doesn't even matter. We got it working. We're ready. This is the kind of content we're going to bring out for you guys. You know what I mean? We hope you enjoy it. If you don't, that's fine too.
That's okay.
That is okay. We all got to have some haters, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean.
You know, they only hate the great ones.
Love you, Kobe. Haters because they ain't
Love
us.
Love you, Kobe.
R.I.P. Kobe. You the man, number 24. But anyway, okay, we are at the hour and 30-minute mark. This is the pilot episode of Purple Shade. We covered a lot with the Ravens, offense, defense, John Harbaugh, the season lineup for the Ravens, the schedule. So we'll be back next week. We're hoping to bring some good news. If not, we're still going to bring you the news.
Hopefully we'll get a win.
Hopefully we get a win.
You'll know if we don't. We'll know.
But we'll still pick it apart, win or lose. That's the best part about the show.
Yep, we'll still be.
Always. But anyway, as always, I am Tori's son.
Mikey Nunchuck, people. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for, coming out and look. Hey, we're going to start doing live streams too. So if you check out this video and you see it and you like it, please come back. We're going to start doing live streams. We'll let you know, though. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming out.
Peace. Y'all be good.
We out.